Over the past 12 months, Interact and Interreg together have been developing the Joint Electronic Monitoring System, or Jems. Through fortnightly sprint reviews, milestone events, and more specific feedback inputs through surveys, Interact has been working intensely to build a system with the user at its heart and available for the whole community. But before we look forward to the future, it's important to take a moment and reflect on where we started and the challenge we faced all those years ago with the new requirement for e-cohesion and electronic reporting, the opportunity that presented itself through the first generation of harmonized implementation tools which standardized program practice for the first time, and the opportunity this then created to have one monitoring system available for the whole community to use. But to find out more about this, let's go to Italy and ask Mauro for more information.
It's a funny story. It starts with a very small step for Interact, but it ends with a big leap for humanity. No, for Interact, sorry. It was back in 2013, I believe. I was sitting in my office in Vienna. It was a cold morning. And then somebody knocked at the door. And a colleague came and she said to me, we have to develop something to help programs with e-cohesion because nobody knows what to do. And she said, why don't we build up a monitoring system for everyone? A software, I said, I can't believe it. They will never trust us to do something that complex as a monitoring system. But then, step by step, little by little, they convinced me. They knew what they were talking about. They knew what they were doing. And so we started all together to look for a IT company. We discussed it with City of Vienna, who was very, very available. Then we discussed with the member states, who also agreed to give up control because they were giving up control to us. And at the end, we managed. The programs helped us. The programs that were in the core group helped us a lot, and we managed.
This is such a great story, true cooperation story. And then you left. And then what happened?
Yes, and then I left for an Interreg program where I work now. And the funny thing is, we had to set up the system very quickly and to launch a call. And within 2 months, we set up the system, we launched the call, we got 900 applicants, and really it worked very, very well. So I'm very happy and proud to give you the system. Ivana, this is your turn. Here it is.
Oh, thank you, Mauro. Big responsibility. But we knew what we were getting, and I can tell you it was great. We did the impact evaluation, and this impact evaluation showed us some really nice things. In fact, some observations from impact evaluations told us that EMS contributed very much to creation of common standards, common basic standards between programs that were using EMS, allowing them to have much easier daily implementation of programs, easier data, easier following of what was happening with projects. And also EMS contributed, or the whole process around EMS contributed to rethinking and maybe redesigning common working routines. And we thought this is a great opportunity that we can use for the next programming period that starts now in 2021, and also thinking about technology, because technology kind of caught up with us, and we had to basically decide to develop a brand new system and start from scratch. And that's why we developed a project idea, and then we packed it up nicely, and we were ready to present it to our monitoring committee together with the core group members. So we packed our bags, we decided this is the moment, and we traveled to Bucharest, Romania in December 2019 to present the project idea to our monitoring committee.
In Bucharest meeting and also before, Interact's monitoring committee spent a lot of time and energy in making sure we were creating the best offer for Interact programs by creating a joint monitoring system. Through harmonizing Interact program practices, we have seen improvements to the programs already in the current period. As an economist, I'm a huge fan of synergies. So why should all programs build their own monitoring systems, while our programs based on the same regulatory framework? For me, it is clear. It is much more efficient to build one shared program, which of course here and there can be adapted to program-specific needs, than having hundreds of individual systems. Jems is, simply put, the only harmonized system built using the knowledge of all Interact. And this is why we as a monitoring committee gave the green light and strongly recommend you to use that knowledge.
Thank you, Julian, and thanks to the whole monitoring committee for giving us the green light. With the MC decision in the pocket, the real work could start. Bratislava region as the managing authority of Interact fully relies on the expertise we have in-house. The dedication, creativity, commitment, as well as the willingness to undergo risky business are the greatest assets of all Interact team members at their hosting institutions. And EMS certainly was a risky business at the beginning. Time has proven that EMS, and now Jems, is a very vital baby and that the risk of developing it was worth it. Our Interact office in Vienna plays a very big part in this whole exercise as they took this task with open mind. I know it's not easy to be responsible for such a big and important project, but all the eyes are on you. I trust our colleagues in City of Vienna that they do not wake up in the middle of the night with dread, but rather with excitement.
Well, thank you very much, Petra, for the sleepless nights you delivered to me and to the city of Vienna. But since we know how important cooperation is to all partners across Europe, of course, we are ready to tackle the new challenge. Please, be so kind, all of you, and join up as many of you as possible. Thank you.
With support of City of Vienna, we are building the system, keeping in mind that it should manage at least 1/3 of Interact programs and work in many languages. Jems is developed not from scratch, but with the experience and lessons learned from the EMS. Simplicity in workflows, user-friendliness, better external communication, quality assurance, improved performance is what we are focusing on. And we needed a different approach in designing the system, not defining all the needs in a future period with only draft regulations, but a flexible approach that would help us to build and respond to new needs and realizations. For that, we embraced the Agile approach and contracted CloudFlight.
Flexible approach, you say? That's my cue. Thanks, Aya. You see, I'm working for CloudFlight and we are super proud to develop Jems together with Interact. Wanna know how? Let's take a look.
Delivering software is a complex task. Your requirements and priorities, or even your budgets and deadlines, might change over time. Or the empire might strike back. This is why we want to be flexible, called Agile. And being Agile means that we deliver working software every 3 weeks. And even if our plans change on a monthly basis, we ensure working high-value software for you in the end. And this means that we need a close collaboration on a daily basis between Interact and CloudFlight.
So many of you are already joining our sprint reviews every 2 weeks, and this is amazing. But if you particularly so far didn't join us, then let me invite you now. It would be cool if you could drop by next time, because in the end it's your feedback and your input that guides our decisions in the project. But Jenny can tell you more about that.
It's you, the users, who define our goals and directions. To verify ideas and concepts, we do user tests and we do interviews with beneficiaries and with programs. Additionally, the platform Jems is permanently accessible for you, and feel free to test on your own and give us the feedback. We already received thousands of individual pieces of user feedback so far, and we do our best to reflect them in our development.
We really enjoy developing Jems with Interact together, simply because they share the mindset of constant improvement with us.
Different interest groups taking on different perspectives is an interesting part of my job.
Thanks a lot for your attention. I hope we could give you some fun and entertaining insights into our contribution to the project, and I'll see you at the next sprint review.
Thank you, Markus. You know what is so exciting about Agile methodology, that from the beginning on, every 14 days we have to demonstrate and to show a functional piece of software. Programs can test it and they give us feedback. And the good thing is also that we are very flexible and can react to the changes of the needs. So now we have a methodology in theory, we have a skilled and experienced team, and this is how we work in practice.
In the team, we collect requirements for the system. We look at the new draft regulations and guarantee that all stakeholders are heard. Working with stakeholders and users is very important for Jems.
Once we have collected the requirements, we take them and we turn them into specifications. We hand over the specifications to the developers to develop our features.
We make sure that also the technical specifications are feasible and have a second view on the technical requirements of implemented features.
We guarantee that deliverable product is of high quality and ensure that it follows quality software standards before it delivered to the end users.
As one of the 7 Jems core group members, we are committing time, energy, and expertise to actively contribute to the specification of Jems, while always keeping in mind that core group members are not acting in the interest of the sole program, but to the benefit of the entire community that will use Jems afterwards.
In Jems development process, the core group is the first one to be invited to be part of the needs inventory and prioritization, as well as in the overall design of wider Jems phases. We take part in drafting use cases for technical specifications, and of course, we are part of the continuous testing of growing Jems by providing feedback to the parts that are already implemented. Core group meets regularly. We work both in plenary session, but also in smaller thematic groups.
So we are looking forward to seeing you benefiting from the community monitoring system Jems.
And we bring HIT.
Second generation of HIT is being developed with online systems in mind.
We work in close cooperation with Jems to ensure that the HIT tools can be incorporated as soon as they're ready.
We developed application form elements enabling Jems to implement the best practice templates created by our core group of Interreg programs.
And we continue to develop reporting tools as well as a number of other elements that will all become a part of Jems.
Working groups on simplified cost options were also important in the Jems development. Simplified cost options are essential in the next programming period, and our input on the structure of the SCOs has enabled Jems to be at the front run in their implementation in the system. We have also helped with the interpretation of the new simplified cost options.
So many features and requirements. You see, the knowledge and experience of the whole Interreg team is required for this project. But how do we proceed now? How do we set the priorities? How do we decide which feature to develop next? We go again to the programs. We ask them when they need certain functionalities in the software. For example, when they start their calls, when they expect the first contracts to be signed, etc. And we develop the software according to their timelines. So, because it is our highest ambition to deliver the software by the time the program needs the features.
There it is. A huge thank you to the Jems team. It was an honor for us to be the first program to sign the license agreement. Why do you ask? Because we wanted a system that makes it easier for applicants and controllers to work with. The joint electronic monitoring system will provide features and functionalities that far exceed most of the existing monitoring systems. Also, in very practical terms, there is the added benefit of simplified collection of data, and above all, Interreg programs can obtain the Jems for free. We see great benefit in further harmonization and hope that more programs will join us, because cooperation can save millions of euros and cooperation can be fun.
Oh, it's heavy. We're ready to share it with you. 30th of March, join us.